Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's me, Kay. I'm here today to bring you Beyond the Gate Season 2, Episode 119. Y'all, I just don't even know where to begin. I just finished watching the episode and why y'all, I just really don't want Kat with Tomas no more. Like we got two separate things going on. Okay. So everyone is back in their homes and they're recuperating, they're adjusting. Kat has gotten back to work, which to me, I'm just like, girl, you just went through a major surgery and now you back working. Why you just can't sit down and just chill? But nonetheless, that's her prerogative, you know. And I just want to say thank God for Chelsea, because I thought it was gonna come up though that Chelsea had a conversation with Tomas, but seems to me that part of the conversation has not come up yet. I don't know if it will. I hoped it would, but it hadn't. But maybe it will, as the days go on. But nonetheless, thank God for Chelsea. Somebody got to be level-headed in this sister cousinship, okay? Because it's Chelsea at this point. Sometimes you need a person there in your corner that's just going to give you the real. And Chelsea is the person who's giving Kat the real. Now, she has been calling her by her full name this whole episode, hoping that her cousin would listen to her. Y'all, guess what Kat done did? Now, I know y'all know what Kat already did because y'all already watched the show. But Kat done went and bought the doggo condo thinking that moving in with Tomas was the right answer after all of this. So, obviously, it was to be expected for Tomas's ego to be wounded. It was expected. But Tomas wouldn't have had that wounded ego had he just listened to Chelsea and Ted the first time, because they told him that now is not the right time to be proposing to Kat. And I get that Tomas felt like it was a good idea and he went against, advice that he shouldn't do it, but he did it nonetheless. So here we are. So Tomas, I guess, has iced Kat out. I don't know how many days have gone by, if it was just yesterday or whatever, but nonetheless, it's been, a little while, and she's been reaching out to him and he has not been responding. Or if he has been responding, it's been like, just here and there responses. It's not like nothing like what they're used to. So Kat is worried because last time her and Tomas had a rough patch, that's when his entanglement with Eva happened. And then it's just crazy to me. And I'm glad that Eva clocked it, because Tomas went to Eva's house under the guise of he just want to, check on her. When in reality, he didn't want to check on Eva to see how Eva was doing. He wanted to go over there to talk to Eva and get advice from Eva. But nonetheless, I'm glad Eva clocked him coming over there trying to get advice from her, because under the same guise that I was under, I'm just like, Tomas, if you feel a way about Kat, why are you yet over Eva's house trying to talk to her about it again? Because that's how y'all ended up in the same predicament. Not thinking, I didn't think him and Eva would end up in the same predicament now because Isaiah's around. Sidebar. I love Isaiah being around. I don't know what kind of rebrand this is giving Eva or whatever, but, nonetheless, Isaiah is easy on the eyes. That's all I can say. Very attractive man. But, nonetheless, it's just the fact that Tomas went over Eva's house looking for advice. Now, I'm just like, now Kat felt a way about Eva. And even though Kat and Eva are in a different place now, and even though Eva is in a relationship with Isaiah, which everybody knows, it still doesn't negate the fact that a same pattern was repeated. The outcome was just different. And I don't know why, as a man, I don't know why he thought that was a good idea. The best idea would have just been to go to Kat and just have a conversation with her. But nonetheless, he decided to march his hips over to Eva's apartment and talk to her about the way he was feeling about Kat. And Eva was just like, Tomas, don't you see that this is a repeated pattern? Like, do you know not? I'm just getting in a good place with Eva where we can like coexist and coexist peacefully. And now you over here in my face trying to ask me for advice after all that we done been through. Did you not learn your lesson the first time? Not did, Eva did, go to the extremists to saying like, I hope you didn't come over here thinking you was about to get a backseat or whatever. But I guess she just had to stay her claim and let it be known that she is in a happy, healthy relationship with her man, and she loves her man, and he actually cares for her. And I can actually say that, I didn't expect this relationship with Eva and Isaiah to be at the place that it is, but nonetheless, I love that for her, and she needed somebody. But she also is on the mend with everybody in the community, as well as, people who she had prior relationships with, that, things were just different, And so I don't know. It just made me feel a way about Tomas. And I just said yesterday in my review for yesterday's episode, well, Monday's episode 118, that I'm over I'm over Kat and Tomas. But it's just the fact that like, I feel like Kat's relationship is just one area where she just is not like, I don't know the word that I want to use for it. But you know how when we see Kat handle other things, she handles them with such a power. She doesn't do that with her relationship with Tomas. And Tomas is her first real boyfriend. And so her and Chelsea were talking about how her and Tomas's relationship has evolved since, the entanglement with Eva, that he has remained faithful, and that, they have a nice, intimate life. And I feel like with Tomas being the first person that Kat was intimate with, I do feel like that could play a factor into, her going the extra mile to put up with things with Tomas or going through unnecessary things. But as this being her first relationship, I do feel like with this being her first relationship, that she is going to go through and experience things, that we feel is stupid, but she has to go through them as a learning curve, to get experience. I do feel like romantically, Kat was ill prepared, and that made me think about, or that made me have the immediate thought back to the conversation that Nicole was having at the hospital with Danny, when she was saying to Danny how she doesn't want Tomas to be with an adulterer. And I'm just like, I just think it's so funny that this is coming up now. Like, why wasn't this a thing, or why wasn't this everybody's concern when it first happened? I know it was Chelsea's concern when it first happened. Chelsea has brought it up to Kat multiple times. She is the only character that has brought it up a couple times. Even to the point where, if I'm not mistaken, when she brought it up one time, when her and Kat were talking about her and Madison and all them hanging together, Eva got kind of loud with Chelsea and was just like, you're never supposed to bring that up. You said, we discussed that we'd never bring that up. And so I think that that's a point of contention for Kat. And so to hear Nicole say something about it, I'm just like, well, I would hope as her mother, she would have a talk with Kat. But according to that conversation with Danny, it doesn't seem like Nicole, I'm not going to say Nicole don't find it important to have a conversation with Kat about what she thinks about Tomas, but it don't sound like it's on the priority list. You know what I mean? Which I think it should be, because I think that at this point, Kat is trying to prove to herself and to Tomas that she's willing to do anything in this relationship, and to kind of coddle Tomas, because she feels like because she said no, she got to coddle Tomas and try to get this condo in order to help cushion the blow because she said no to his engagement. I just don't feel like this relationship with Tomas is going to go in a positive direction. I just don't. And even at the end of the episode, when, she showed Tomas the condo that she was going to get, and she was like, yeah, I bought this condo for us to move into. And Tomas was like, for us? She was like, yeah, we're going to move in it. We're going to live together. And Tomas was like, Kat, I don't think this is going to work for me. And I was just like, well, here we go. I mean, excuse me. And at the same time, I was just like, Chelsea tried to tell her. Chelsea spent that whole episode begging her cousin to just chill out and just to have a conversation with Tomas. But Kat decided that she wanted to do something. There's been a point of contention where, excuse me, Kat said she wasn't ready to move in with Tomas. And then Tomas asked Kat to move in. And then he said he wasn't ready to move in with her. And so now she's ready to move in with him. And now he's not ready to move in with her again. Excuse me, what is going on? It's just so much. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just so much back and forth. And I'm just like, they are not compatible. Like, can we please move forward? Can we please move forward? Like, it's becoming irritating. And, like, on the flip side, we see Eva just in bliss. Her and Isaiah are great, Isaiah has taken the time to nurture Eva, to find out what she likes, and I think that came from a place of, both of them not being seen and heard within their family. So I think that was just the one thing that they was able to bond off of, and they cultivated a relationship off of that to where they actually got to know each other. And I don't think that Kat and Tomas actually know each other. I just feel like they got this, it's been a year now, and I feel like they're still in the same place. You know what I mean? And even though everything, I guess, Chelsea, I feel like Chelsea came from a humble place. Like, she wasn't the best person to talk or speak about it, but she told Kat the truth based on just the simple fact that, she cares for Kat, and Kat is like her left lung for real. You know what I mean? And so she just kept begging Kat. She was like, Kat, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself when you talk, girl? You really think getting a condo is the answer just because you said no to a man? And you think because he ain't talking to you right now, or that y'all ain't on the same page, that you think moving into a condo is the best idea? No. So I'm just like, moving on. We got Vanessa and Joey. I'm so over Vanessa and Joey. Like, I just don't understand what don't Vanessa understand. Like, what is she missing? I don't understand. And I don't understand what is exactly what it is she's looking for. I guess that's my biggest concern. I don't understand what Vanessa is looking for. I understand the things that were given to us. Vanessa was in a relationship with a man. She was married to a man who was her childhood sweetheart, and she loved him. They had a family together. Their marriage wasn't perfect. They had a lot going on that, wasn't typical to the average married, what we deem as an average married couple. But then, he suddenly tragically dies, you know what I mean? And so now she is just like enthralled and has took a deep dive into this relationship with this man that she don't know, but she's expecting all this from Joey. And I'm just like, well, where was his energy for Doug when Doug was alive? I just feel like we didn't get that on screen. We didn't get all the energy for her relationship with Doug the way we get this relationship from Joey. We didn't even get like a a small reconciliation where they tried. You know what I mean? We just saw that one scene where Vanessa and Doug made love to one another, and then it just was like, okay, go our separate ways. I don't know. And so now, like, thinking about that moment, and then thinking about the moment she is with now, and then Joey telling her, like, in but so many words, I don't trust your daughter. Your daughter don't like me. I don't trust her. Not only are we in this intimate relationship together, we have a business relationship together, and I don't need her getting a mingling within our business. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all the money that I have been putting into your business. I'm gonna take it out because I don't need her seeing anything. And in the event that I have to, atone for some of the things I did, I don't want you attached. Well, that's the guys that he took. If I have to account for some things, I don't want you to have to, face any music behind me. But he basically, and then he said, Vanessa, you're one of the few people that I trust. I don't even really fully believe that Joey trusts Vanessa. You know what I mean? I think he keeps Vanessa at a distance, and he gives her just enough to where she can be satisfied and for her to shut up. I think that's what it is. And I do think it is smart of Joey to take his money out that business. I do. But I think Joey just need to go on his merry way for real. Like, I think Joey got in too deep with a woman that he basically took from another man. And I think he just wanted to use Vanessa in the beginning to make a point to Doug. But I think it got too deep. And now it's starting to blow back on him. And it's going to continue to blow back on him. Joey done sent Randy to have a talk with Deanna. And of course, the talk with Deanna, was cool with Randy because Randy is someone who she's familiar with. And she knows that's her dad's best friend. I also think that Deanna was open to, sitting down and talking with Randy because, I think she's just trying to find any attachment that is close to her dad or anybody that was close to her dad because she misses him. And the one attachment who she thought she could depend on that was close to her dad is her mom. But it doesn't seem like her mom is really bothered or concerned or has any regard about her dad. Vanessa says she does, but it doesn't appear so to Deanna. So just to see Deanna open up and to communicate how she feels or talk about her memories or whatever with her dad, with Randy, I do think that this will alter the way Randy does his job for Joey because Doug was Randy's best friend. And I know that there's no way that Randy doesn't know that Joey did something to Doug. It's just no way. But I do think that with the multiple sit downs, I do think eventually Deanna will say something to Randy about the whole thing with Doug to where it's gonna hit a soft spot for Randy, and I think Randy might end up turning on Joey. But we'll see. That's just my prediction. But yeah, I do think Randy will see like Deanna has a soft spot. I don't think he will be able to fully carry out the task that Joey has given him because it's just going to be too much. Like, he's going to feel sorry, And then Vanessa talking about we're partners. So Joey took the money out of her businesses, and then he said he don't want her having anything to do with Heart Attach because Deanna was a client of Heart Attach. So if Deanna was a client of Heart Attach and her mom is, running things for Heart Attach, Joey don't want their business out on Front Street, I just don't get it with Vanessa. I wish we could understand a little bit more you know. But nonetheless, where is Darnell? Or Donnell, whichever one it is. But yeah, as we know, also, you know, Deanna is working for Vanessa this summer. Yeah, I already said that. And Deanna was the one to take Kat on the tour with in Vanessa's words, licensed broker, to see a couple of the condos. Vanessa even said she didn't want no parts of Kat trying to find no condo with Kat because Kat was fickle. I thought that was interesting. But yeah. So I just don't I don't know what Vanessa is looking for. I don't understand what she wants. She wants this relationship close. She wants a close relationship with Deanna. But Joey is, I mean, and I think Joey is right. Don't get me wrong. Joey is right. Deanna is absolutely around this summer because she wants to dig into her mama. But it's Vanessa wanting this relationship so bad with Deanna that one, she don't see it. But two, she don't see that she should be spending, this is the time that she should be spending with her child. Especially Deanna, knowing that Deanna was struggling with Doug's death. This is the time that she needed to be with her daughter, spending time with her daughter, you know, instead of all up under Joey and chasing him and condemning Deanna for not liking him. I mean, I understand that, you know, Vanessa's grown and she needs her own life post Doug. But at the same time, it's just like, well, if your kids had concerns about the man that you currently are dating, when are you gonna take into account what they're actually saying and not how you feel? You know what I mean? I can see if they didn't, if you know, one, it wasn't Joey because of the reputation he carries, but two, because, you know, I could actually see if they met him, had a rapport with him, and they actually was around him and they thought he was a good guy. Joey tends to have humanistic qualities, yes. You know, especially with the way he treats Isaiah, like as we saw in this episode. You know, Isaiah is his one soft spot. You know, one of his many soft spots, should I say. But other than that, he you know, is about his business always. Anita has her lumpectomy. We thank God that Auntie is okay. She is fine. She is on the mend. They were able to remove everything. We saw Danny, Vernon, and Nicole sitting out in the lobby, just talking, you know, spending that time together. And I like seeing that dynamic on screen, that nuclear family on screen. I think it's important because it's the foundation of the show, and it gives us that foundation that is needed, because we often see them, you know, with their families, Nicole and Danny, with their families, and just, you know, dealing with what they got going on. But like I said, just to see them on screen together, being there for Anita, and then when they were getting on the elevator, Vernon pushing her on the elevator, and then they have their two children, and they're holding their mother's hand. You know, I just thought that was great. I love how Vernon handles Anita. He is very much the man of that home. He said, now, if you don't sit your beautiful, stubborn self in this chair and let me put you on that elevator. I was like, yes, Vernon, gather her. Get Auntie together, because sometimes Auntie be tripping. But we love her nonetheless. And Vernon was like, and he always speaks of her so highly. Like, there was a moment where Danny and Nicole was talking, and he overheard them, and he was just like, you know, y'all speaking of me so highly. I'm the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Your mama is the pot of gold at the end of my rainbow. You know what I mean? I was just like, yes, Vernon. We love to see it. And don't y'all ever put a moment on screen where Vernon and Anita ain't good and they beefing, or he got some kind of secret. Don't ruin this for us, y'all. Don't ruin this for us. Let Vernon continue to be the standard. Let him continue to be the anomaly. Let him continue to be the golden ticket. Don't have her doing no crazy stuff on this show. We done got too far. We done been through too much. Let's see. What else? Did anything else happen in this episode? No. I would love to see Nicole. We did have a moment a couple episodes ago where, you know, Kat and Nicole sat down and had like a little mother-daughter thing at the country club. But the way that Danny is always having these moments with Chelsea and Naomi, I need for Nicole to have more of those moments with Kat. Matter of fact, I need Nicole to dump Cal and Carlton because she got a lot going on and she just need to put focus on Kat and her children and her grandchildren and just being there for them and their family. Because it's a lot going on. It's really a lot going on. And I was hoping that Danny would spill the beans to Nicole while they were sitting in the weight room about what she did with Bill, but she ain't say nothing. So, we're going to see how all that goes in today's episode. Because I need for the truth to be revealed. I don't want to keep going on with this much further. But yeah, y'all, we will see. I'll be back for episode 120. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave me your comments down below. Leave your comments. Dang, I messed that all up. Leave me your comments down below. And let me know what you thought of this episode. I will be back. Deuces.